Hey everybody, here it is Monday. Welcome to episode 203 of Is This Thing Working? How you doing, Denise?
I am awesome today on this Monday. Little fall in the air. I love fall. I mean, just think about it. September turns into October, which is just cooler weather, and kids are back in school. We have all the fall decorations coming out, pumpkins everywhere. Oh, we have pumpkins. Pumpkin plants are growing. And I'm excited because the grandkids, when they came down, they planted pumpkin seeds during the summertime, and now they're just now getting to where they're spreading everywhere. And believe it or not, their seeds are the only ones that survive the summer. And so I'm really excited about fall.
Right.
You know, we have a lot to talk about today. It is crazy out there. It's a crazy weekend. President Trump, he was in Wisconsin this weekend. And plus he put out so many, controversial statements, concerning the Democrats. Think they're controversial. I think they're BA, for badass, but that's President Trump. But Kamala Harris.
The thing about President Trump and the thing that he said, the terms that he used, I guess I should say, which kind of made me excited about a lot of things, is that he used the words being liberated.
Yes.
And that tells me that he knows a lot more than we know. And that also tells me that we're gonna make this happen.
Yes,
we're gonna make this happen. We're gonna liberate ourselves from what we have got going on right now, which is a overreaching, tyrannical government. And I'm talking about from the White House to the DOJ to the FBI to the other intel agencies. Guys, you people have stepped over your bounds, and it's about to come to an end. And honestly, I hope that it rains down on you like you've never seen, because
that's why they're fighting back so hard.
That's exactly right. And I heard back in the day, one of the people that I looked up to back when I was in my youth, one of the things that he always told us, and he was a school teacher, and he always said this, hey, you'd get in trouble and they'd bust your butt with a paddle. Back in the day, corporal punishment was a good thing. It was a thing, and it was. And if you showed out in his class, he'd bust your butt. But you know what the first thing he'd tell you after that is? Son, you get what you deserve to get. You showed out, you acted this way, I had to come and bust your butt over it. You get what you deserve. These people that have done all these things to President Trump, these people that have done all these things to these J6 prisoners, these people that have done all the overreaching and tyrannical and draconian measures, I hope each and every one of you get what you deserve. And I'll close my rant with that. I'll state, though, that that's my opinion and it's my assertions, and it's Denise's opinion and her assertions also with this. And if you agree with us, you tell your friends and you share our show.
Now also, stomp that like button, and please follow or subscribe wherever you see the name Is This Thing Working? And our podcast is available for download on all platforms like Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen to your podcast. And make sure you download that Rumble app so you can follow the show, and you will receive instant notifications when we go live Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. We have a video that before we start the show that we want to play for you.
And this is part of the reason that I kind of stepped in right from the very start and gave my opinion about all of the things that are going on, because not only is the weaponization of our government one of our hugest problems, it's only being facilitated or allowed because these people continue to keep our borders open. They continue to allow criminals, and this is proven. I don't give a damn what they tell you. They have kept our border open. They have allowed criminals into our country that have no other means but to cause harm and destruction to our country.
And they're certainly not facilitating into the American way of life.
That's exactly right.
Not at all.
That's exactly right. And I want to tell you something. The moment that those people cross our border undocumented, the moment they step foot into our country undocumented, that is against the law, and that makes them criminals. I don't give a damn how much Kamala Harris tries to gaslight you. In the video that Denise just brought up is her saying these things. Listen to this.
It is wrong to somehow suggest that an undocumented immigrant is a criminal.
Being an undocumented immigrant is not a crime.
I know what a crime looks like. An undocumented immigrant is not a criminal. 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 An undocumented immigrant is not a criminal.
How many times did she say the wrong thing? How many times did she say that with such confidence? That is just crazy, man.
That's because they choose to not call them criminals. But when they come over here and they're killing Americans and little kids and doing horrible things to them, and they're not criminals. You know, President Trump has talked all the time about migrant crime and how they've emptied out their prisons. And then they brought over 100,000 Haitians.
Yes.
And, you know, we heard this weekend what's going on in Ohio right now. You know, with the Ohio residents are horrified after spotting missing cats hanging from a branch, being carved up for food by Haitian migrants. This is from the Gateway Pundit. We heard about it all weekend, how they were, killing the ducks and the cats.
Eating them, yeah.
Eating them. But that's what I meant by they don't facilitate. They have no idea what American life is like. Uneducated, you know. And we always, in America, brought over or had people come into the country that, you know, wanted to become an American. They wanted to be an American.
And hold American values. And as the Constitution says, they wanted to come over here to pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Yeah, so they have they're bringing these people from all these countries that have never even had a desire to become American.
Well,
and so they come over here and they don't know how to live. You have to actually have a job and make money, and they don't know that in Haiti. You know, they don't know
maybe that they don't know it, but they never had the opportunity, so they lived the way that they had to live to get by. And you don't have to do that here. And for them to come over here and continually act that way is crazy. You know, and that's the thing. Just like with her stating that they're not criminals, well, we know that to be false. They are releasing prisoners. They are doing it. And they're releasing true criminals. But for her to just say an undocumented immigrant that comes over here isn't a criminal is inherently false. The fact is, yes, they are.
They are criminals.
Yeah.
They got here criminally. You know, the Biden-Harris administration brought them over here. And she, who is the border czar, went after root causes. Well, her root causes, it would seem, would be to just like empty out their countries and bring them all over here to America so that we can protect and take care of them.
Control.
You know, her words.
Control. That's what she means.
You know, honestly, don't get it. This is also culture shock for Americans. I mean, there was a resident who recounted a disturbing exchange with her neighbor who revealed that her daughter's friend had tragically lost her pet cat. The concerned pet owner had searched tirelessly, checking online lost pet pages, local animal shelters, and asking neighbors if they had seen her missing cat. However, the search ended in horror. According to the neighbor, one day after returning home from work, she spotted her lost cat in the neighboring yard. The disturbing detail? The cat was reportedly hanging from a tree branch, allegedly being carved for consumption. The residents of the home in question were identified as a Haitian family. So this right here just tells you that this is what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, they do this like it's a normal thing. Well, that's not normal here in America. Cats are pets. Ducks,
Yeah.
Now, ducks, on the other hand, people eat duck. But no one wants you to go get someone's pet duck to eat. It's not a free-for-all.
Yeah, it's not, if it's their duck, it's not your duck to go get.
No.
Exactly.
And,
but
we haven't seen them do dogs yet,
yeah.
or anything like that.
Check this out. The original poster, and this is like you said, from Gateway Pundit, from the great Jim Hoft. And it says the original poster further claimed that similar incidents had been happening with other animals in the community, including the dogs. The post also alleged that authorities such as park rangers and local police had reported similar acts involving the ducks and the geese in Snyder Park. So the Haitians are running over to the ducks and the geese in the park and taking them and going and eating them. Here was the post. The post read, "Warning to all about our beloved pets and those around us. My neighbor informed me that her daughter's friend lost her cat. And as we told you, she had checked the kennels and all of that. She said, I've been told they're doing this to dogs. They have been doing it at Snyder Park with the ducks and the geese, as I was told that last bit by rangers and police. Please keep a close eye on these animals." The thing to point out in this is, In Wokeness said that Springfield is a small town in Ohio. 4 years ago, they had 60,000 residents. Under Harris and Biden, 20,000 Haitian immigrants were shipped into the town. Now the ducks and the pets are disappearing. Is this nuts?
This is, it's out of control, folks. It's totally out of control. Well, I mean, even makes me speechless.
It does to almost to the point where you want to be mad and upset, but then again, you got to look and go, God, this is so crazy.
The memes
were hilarious.
Are
this
hilarious. They have Trump now. Everyone vote for Trump for your pets. Vote. Or you want to keep your pets, you better vote for Trump. What do they do about this, though? Honestly,
well, shouldn't that be an animal cruelty thing? I mean, shouldn't you at least arrest them for animal cruelty?
Yeah.
I mean,
they would arrest you and I if we were hanging people's pets up to cook and eat.
Look, if the neighbor's dog was over here digging in my garbage and I picked up a rock and threw it at it and hit it in the head with it, and my neighbor seen it, he could call the sheriff's department and they'd come arrest me for animal cruelty.
That's
just
right.
for throwing a rock at the dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do.
So,
yeah. The whole thing is crazy.
It's insanity, man.
Everything's insane. Well, that's just like the Kamala Harris campaign and her. Where was she this weekend? It's some spicy thing.
Oh,
I don't even know the name of the spice company. It starts with a P. What's the name of it? Pritzy or
something like that.
Something I would never buy from.
They're an anti-Republican establishment is what they are.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. So they hate Republicans. So it was all just another Hollywood acting going on at this thing. And then you had Bernie Sanders. Here, listen to what he had to say about Kamala Harris and her no policy self and why.
Described Vice President Kamala Harris as a progressive. She has previously supported Medicare for all. Now she does not. She's previously supported a ban on fracking. Now she does not. These, Senator, are ideas that you have campaigned on. Do you think that she is abandoning her progressive ideals?
No, I don't think she's abandoning her ideals. I think she's trying to be pragmatic and doing what she thinks is right in order to win the election. My own view is slightly different. I think that in America today there are a lot of people, rural people, working class people, who no longer believe that the United States Congress and government represents their interests, too dominated by big money interests. So I think that there is something wrong personally.
There you go.
Well, to me, that was just like a great campaign ad for President Trump.
Definitely. And that's the thing. She can say one thing in 2020 and turn around and say a completely different thing now, and everybody acts like, well, who is the real Kamala Harris? What does she stand for? Like Bernie just told you. She stands for everything she's already been standing for. The woman is a Marxist. The woman is an overreach. She's tyrannical, and this is it. Y'all vote for this if that's what you care to vote for.
Yeah, and don't ever forget she was the last one in the room on Afghanistan.
Yep.
You know, and it came out this weekend that Biden and Harris both, you know, Biden went against the military suggestion on waiting for the Afghanistan withdrawal. It came out this weekend, and my gosh, it's everywhere. New York Post came out with this article. And, yeah, he did it anyway because he wanted it done on the day, September 11th.
Yep.
Remember that?
Yep.
He had to have it all for politics.
Yep.
For just politics. We're going to do this, you know, and we're going to blame it on President Trump.
Yep.
Even though President Trump, I mean, they scrapped President Trump's plan all the way around, threw it aside, and did it themselves their way. And so they refuse to this day to mention the 13 that were killed at Abbey Gate.
Because they don't care about them.
No.
They don't care. And that's the thing with Kamala also is she's not giving interviews. She's not telling policies. She's not doing any of those things. So all that we have to do or all that we have to go on is what she has said in the past, just like what we just heard her stance on illegal immigration. An undocumented immigrant that crosses a border isn't a criminal. Okay. Yes, they are. Now, apparently, that's the way she thinks about that. But here's another thing that she is highly confused on. And again, taking a tyrannical approach is our Second Amendment rights. We've already heard her last week say she's willing to go ahead and start trying to ban X and take people's free speech away. Y'all thought that was bad enough? Not only is she looking to do that, she's looking to take away your gun rights too, y'all. And she has said this over and over in the past. If all we've got to go on is what she has said in the past, here you go.
Let us finally pass an assault weapons ban and universal background checks and red flag laws. Because we are clear on that point, it is a false choice to say you're either in favor of the Second Amendment or you want to take everyone's guns away. I'm in favor of the Second Amendment, and I know we need reasonable gun safety laws in our country.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's some
reasonable
more
gun safety laws.
Yeah, no, and she can call it whatever she wants. She can call it, reasonable gun safety laws. She can call it whatever. But it's red flag laws. It's telling on your neighbor. It's compulsory gun confiscation through a buyback program. The same thing that happened to Australia, and you see what a mess they're into. That wasn't the only time that she campaigned on that. She said it once. She said it twice. She said it 3 times. She has campaigned on gun confiscation. Not only does she want to take your First Amendment right, she wants to take your Second Amendment right. Here we go again. Here she is talking about it one more time.
I'm prepared to take executive action and put in place a ban on the importation of assault weapons into our country. But we still have to deal with the over 2 million assault weapons that are currently in the streets of America. And so a buyback program is a good idea. If Congress fails to act, I'll give them 100 days to put a bill on my desk for signature. And if they do not do it, I will put in place by executive action a comprehensive background check requirement and a ban on the assault weapons and the importation of assault weapons into our country. I'm done.
And that's why we will work to pass universal background checks, red flag laws, and an assault weapons ban.
Well, they already do the background checks. I mean, I don't know what else they're going to do. Everyone else has to have a background check already. They're already taking away your right to buy a gun by doing the background checks.
Well, to me, the thing that stuck out the most to me when she was talking about that was that I'm going to give Congress 100 days, and if they don't, then I'm going to take executive action. You're not the king or the queen. That's not how this country works.
That's how the Democrats work, though. That's what Biden did when he went in and slashed the pipeline.
And that's exactly why I was
ruined people's jobs.
That's right, and that's why I was so pissed
I'm so
off
sick
at all
of
of
these
these people.
executive actions. Well, President Trump, when he gets back in there, he's been watching the Biden-Harris administration, and he's got some executive actions of his own. And I can't wait, because those are going to be the ones that matter, really matter about what's going on with our elections. Here we go. So he says on September 7th, he says, cease and desist. I, together with many attorneys and legal scholars, am watching the sanctity of the 2024 presidential election very closely, because I know better than most the rampant cheating and skullduggery that has taken place by the Democrats in the 2020 presidential election. It was a disgrace to our nation. Therefore, the 2024 election, where votes have just started being cast, will be under the closest professional scrutiny. And when I win, these people that cheated will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, which will include long-term prison sentences, so that the depravity of justice does not happen again. We cannot let our country further devolve into a third world nation, and we won't. Please be aware that this legal exposure extends to lawyers, political operatives, donors, illegal voters, and corrupt election officials. Those involved in unscrupulous behavior will be sought out, caught, and prosecuted at levels, unfortunately, never seen before in our country. And it's about time. This has been going on for 4 years, and we have been over and over saying, hey, look at our elections. Our Congress has done nothing at all to bring that forward. The only thing that even gives me a little inkling that maybe they even care is Marjorie Taylor Greene today, on the first day that they're back in Congress, has right now, as we are talking, is discussing the January 6th boondoggle and all of the lawfare that they have done with all of these people that were at January 6th. Even if you were just standing on the grounds, you got arrested for some stupid idiot misdemeanor, and put into a gulag for a year before you even got to see a lawyer.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. Well, listen to what President Trump had to say about January 6th. This is amazing.
The moment we win, we will rapidly review the cases of every political prisoner unjustly victimized by the Harris regime, and I will sign their pardons on day one. I will sign it on day one. Right? Day one.
Yes, and that's the executive actions that we need to take. We need to take executive action to fix everything that's gone on with the January 6th people, the people that have been arrested for some supposedly Democrat law FACE Act, the Christians that are being put in prison for praying at abortion clinics. The amount of FBI overreach and DOJ overreach is out of control. Folks, we have to vote on November 5th for President Trump, or our country is gone. There is no way we're going to get it back, because right now, at this moment in time, they are registering illegals in all red states. Now, I seen this morning a number that just gave me chills. Texas alone has 3,100,000 illegal immigrants registered to vote illegally in Texas. I seen that number today, and it keeps going up. Okay, so this has been so far since 2020. In the last week, they've added 20,000 more. So I want to know what Texas and all of the governors out there are doing to stop this from happening. Where are you? What are you doing? Our governor came out not too long ago and said that there was only 6,000 and something on there. But then the number I see at the Social Security Administration that I seen this morning, thank you very much, Wall Street apes. Seriously, we need some accountability. We need someone to be looking at this. And if you really looked at all the numbers and you saw the states that didn't have any, Delaware, Kentucky,
Right.
All the blue states, Hawaii. Of course,
Right.
they're not sending any of the illegals over there to Hawaii,
Right.
and Alaska. They're not sending them to Alaska either. So I mean, those are the states that don't have any.
Those are the places. Alaska, I'm telling you, if I'm gonna have to like bus them or plane them anywhere, I'd send them all up there to the northern tip of Alaska.
Yeah, because they're all coming from really hot places.
What a culture shock that would be. Yeah, you want to come to America? Alaska is America.
Sure
You're
is.
here.
That's exactly right.
You're here. Yeah. But and I guess one of the coolest things and the best things about this is that, like you said, there's no accountability from this administration whatsoever. And one of the biggest things that you should be held accountable for, and President Trump brought this out too, and it's really cool, because for 4 years, we've all sat back and watched Joe Biden and his cognitive health decline. Well, I'm not making fun of it. I'm not trying to make light of it. Honestly, as one human to another, I feel bad for that old man. You know what I mean? In that sense.
Right.
In that sense, that, he's hit that age to where, and he's hit this part in his life to where he is declining. But that being said, he can't help that part of it. So you can't hold him accountable for that part of it. But those that were, like you said, in the room with him during Afghanistan withdrawal, in the room with him during the other controversial stuff that he's done, those people that sat there with him and helped steer him into these decisions,
like
and
the
to
media. The media knew all about it. They hid it all.
The media needs to be held accountable. But of all of those people, the one person that I would hold accountable would be who? The second in charge, because that person is involved. Yeah, completely with helping to make these decisions, and that's Kamala Harris. And Kamala Harris, for the last 4 years, has avoided being seen or heard in public.
Because she doesn't want the tough questions asked.
That's right. And one of the toughest questions that she didn't want to have to answer was about Joe Biden's cognitive health. But when it finally come down and everybody's like, hey, man, something's wrong with him, then we find out, you've lied to us all along. It's truly been happening. We've seen it. Now you've kind of admitted it.
I'm of the impression that she has actually been the one that's been running the country, and Obama's been telling her what to do. I mean, I think this is, and I have right here just a headline that just popped up on my computer as we're sitting here talking. Nakash Patel, he was in President Trump's cabinet, and he said he believes that Kamala Harris will be installed as president before the election.
Would they use the 25th Amendment? That's where I was going with this.
I don't know. I'm kind of wondering if maybe Biden might retire or might leave or might pardon Hunter and leave, or he's already come out and said he wasn't going to pardon Hunter, but
yeah, that remains to be seen too. Because he'll lie anyway. Here's what Trump War Room put out a video.
I will support modifying the 25th Amendment to make clear that if a vice president lies or engages in a conspiracy to cover up the incapacity of the president of the United States, if you do that with a cover-up of the president of the United States, it's grounds for impeachment immediately and removal from office, because that's what they did.
That's exactly what they did. Yes, 100%.
Yep. And that was a good point to bring up about Mike Pence, because he didn't sit there and lie about cognitive health about President Trump, but he dang sure went against President Trump. He dang sure done everything he could to help remove President Trump.
Yes, he did, and he's still doing it.
Yes.
I mean, he's, that's why I feel like these people that are all of a sudden on Kamala Harris's side for some reason, they hate President Trump so much for breaking the norm, for the people actually electing him, instead of over who they chose and selected.
Yeah.
You know, so this country is on the way down to be a third world country, like President Trump is always saying. We really, really need your help. We need you to be a force multiplier, 100%. Make sure you call your congressman and woman about the SAVE Act. Make sure you are telling 10 people to vote on November 5th. Make sure you continually, every single day from here until the election, which I believe is 59 days away.
Right.
Roughly.
Right.
I could be off a day or two there, but it's time. It's time, folks, for us to get up off our butts and get the word out that if you don't elect President Trump, they're coming for you. They're coming for everyone.
And all you got to do is listen to what they say. They always tell you what they're doing.
Yes. And on the show tomorrow, we won't be having one during the day. We're fixing to move around our show because we have a lot going on. We have a lot going on for the election, so we're going to be involved in a lot of it. So tomorrow night, we will be live streaming the debate. Yeah, could you imagine that? That's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see it, even though really I think it's just going to be another talking point. That's all she's going to do. President Trump, we already know all of his stances on everything because he talks to the people every single day. So we already know everything about him. So it's all going to be about her.
Right. And what'll be good to see, let her stand on her positions tomorrow. Let's let her tell us that she's not against gun confiscation. Let her stand there and tell us she's not against open borders. Let her stand there and tell us that she's not against price gouging. Let her stand there and tell us all of these things. Here's a question to ask her, and this would be the first question I would ask her tomorrow. Hey, back on January 20th of 2021, you said you were going to build back better. Now you're saying day one. What?
Is this thing working?
Rise up. Well, hey, everybody, that's it for today. Thanks for listening, and I hope you've enjoyed the show. Hope you've learned some things about what's going on around us in the nation and in your communities. You know, we couldn't do this without your continued support either. We appreciate all of you showing up, taking the time to listen to us today. So please, like I say, make sure to hit the like button, share our show with all your friends. We'll see you next time on Is This Thing Working? And as always, I'm James, and that's my lovely co-host over there,
Denise.
and we'll see you next time.
We're out.